Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love, and today we're gonna be making a delicious keto cinnamon roll. So this is a non-fathead dough. There are a ton of recipes where you can make cinnamon rolls with fathead dough. And if you don't know what fathead dough, it's actually just a dough made out of cream cheese with mozzarella, an egg, and almond flour. So let me know if you guys haven't seen one, because I have perfected my recipe, and of course I can share that with you. But today that's not the case. We are making this from scratch. So we're gonna be making it, obviously all the ingredients and directions and everything will be in the description below, but I will go over them with you as I prepare these. So we're gonna start off with making the dough. So the dough for the, here, let me move this. The dough for our cinnamon rolls is going to involve our almond flour. Then I'm actually just gonna mix everything into the bowl, and I will, like, bring you guys along while I make it. So here we have our almond flour, and that's about a cup and a half. And then we have our tapioca flour. So the tapioca flour isn't known as a low carb flour, but since we're using such a small amount, you're gonna be fine. You can obviously totally omit it and it'll be fine as well, but it lends to the recipe and texture. So now we have our sweetener, it's just a little tablespoon, and we have our baking soda. Okay, and now that we have that in there, let's go ahead and just give it a little whisk before we add the wet ingredients to make sure that everything, usually the way I make my recipes, I like to add all the wet ingredients first. All the dry ingredients first. Give it a little whisk so that everything is, mixed together before you add the wet ingredients, because if not, then you're gonna end up with like one part of your cake that has a bunch of baking powder or something like that, So now for our wet ingredients, instead of adding them right into the dry ingredients, what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix them up in a separate bowl, okay? So we're gonna do our butter. So we'll start off with our butter and just put that into your bowl, and then you're going to add your egg. So we're doing 1 egg, room temperature. Remember, your ingredients should always be room temperature, because you want everything to just blend really well, okay? So then I just have some vanilla flavoring right now. I bought some vanilla extract and it just tasted so much like alcohol, I could not handle it, and $30 down the drain. So this is just vanilla flavor. We're gonna add that right into our dry ingredients. I don't have one that I've actually love right now. I do have the vanilla paste, but I know a lot of you guys were talking about how it's, it does have sugar in the, in the vanilla paste. So I figured, I don't want to confuse you guys. I use that for special things like a cheesecake or like an ice cream, where I know that it's really gonna like bring out the taste, So here we have the maple syrup. This is the maple syrup by Chalk Zero. If you guys don't already know, this is my absolute favorite syrup. I've been using them for like over 2 years. I used to buy these products with my own money. Now obviously we're partnered together, and I absolutely love our partnership because I love them. I love all their products, but maple is one of my favorite, and you could see the texture. I don't know if you can see that, but it is very thick, but not like overly nasty. It doesn't have like a weird texture or anything like that. It's actually just perfect. And even if you're not keto or low carb and you just want to start making, healthier choices and not eat so much sugar, then this is a perfect option. And I do have a discount code. It's Low Carb Love, and it gets you 10% off at checkout. So if you guys want to grab that, then make sure that you use my code. So we're just gonna mix this up a little. Okay, and so now we have our wet ingredients whisked. We have our dry ingredients combined. I'm just gonna add like a little pinch of salt, just tiny pinch of salt. And let's go ahead and incorporate our wet ingredients in here. Okay, and try not to make a mess. Just gonna pour that right in, like so. Beauty, beauty. Alrighty, and now put that to the side. You know, here, since I already have it in here. Let's go ahead and mix this together. Of course, it would be easier with the spatula, but I just like to make my life difficult, guys. Okay. Right now it's a little soft. You can refrigerate it after it's done for a few minutes, just to let it get a little, you know, a little firmer, so it's easier to work with. Okay, so we're gonna get some of this press and seal. So I'm almost out, but we're gonna grab a little and we're gonna wrap the actual dough so there's no air. It's just to get it firm, and you don't want a crust, you know, that's what you don't want to form, is a crust. So we're gonna put it in the refrigerator for 15 minutes. If you leave it longer, it's fine, just as long as there's no air, like for it to get the crustiness, okay? But you see, it's in there. And now we'll put it in the fridge for 15 minutes, and I'll see you guys right back here. We're going to need 2 pieces of parchment paper because we are going to put one at the bottom and then one on top. But we let this set in the fridge for 15 minutes because, again, remember, it's easier to manage. If you can see now, it's not falling apart. Like, we'll be able to, it's not like super sticky, right? So that's what you're looking for. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use this parchment paper here, and we're going to spray it. And even though this has the butter and everything, you still need to spray it so that it does not stick. So it's just easier. And then we're just gonna take it out like this. It's just like a little dough. Okay. Put that aside. I think I have to spray it on both ends so it does not stick. Okay. And now we're just gonna start pressing down. You'll see that it's easy to, you know, to take off, but I don't have a rolling pin. But in case you guys don't have a rolling pin, then you'll do what I'm doing now. I do have one, I just have to grab it. But you can just kind of even out your dough. Okay. And then if you're like OCD about everything being straight and, you know, you want your cinnamon rolls to be perfectly squared, then you would just take your time. You see that? I'll show you this way. It just comes off very easily. Voila! So that's why you want to put the oil on it, so that you do not, so it doesn't stick all over the place. But okay, so now we are going to set this little baby aside, and we are going to put the filling, okay? We have our butter, our cinnamon, and our sweetener. So we're just gonna put everything right into the butter. So this is just softened butter. If you can see, it's super, super soft. It's not melted, but it's also not firm, okay? So it's nice and soft. Let's go ahead and add our sweetener. I'm using powdered sweetener. I love allulose for anything baking related. We have our cinnamon. So we have our butter, cinnamon, and sweetener, and we're just gonna mix it all up, okay? And I will show you what we're working with. Yeah, the sweetener is really, really important for baking. I think that some will just leave you with like a cooling effect that I really dislike. Sorry. Okay, so I had to melt this for about 6 seconds because it was just not cooperating. I do this just so that there is an even amount of cinnamon butter and sweetener that goes over the cinnamon rolls. But typically, if you want to make it like that traditional way, you would first put the butter and then just sprinkle the cinnamon and the sugar on top. And either way, it's fine because it's still going to be delicious. So we have our mixture. Let's grab our cinnamon roll, our dough. And now we're going to spread it. And you're just going to spread it on top. So I know it looks a little messy. Sometimes I just feel like just spreading things all over the place, but I'm not going to do that today. So now we're just going to spread it all over. And see, to me, it just makes me feel like every bite is going to have a little bit of everything. So, but again, you can totally melt the butter. Spread the butter and then sprinkle the cinnamon on top. Okay guys, so I went ahead and spread this all over. It might be a little easier for you just to spread the butter and then sprinkle your cinnamon all around, but for me personally, like I said, I just like to do it this way. So we're going to go ahead and start rolling. So you're going to use your parchment to roll. You're just going to kind of start it off here, a little baby roll. And then I'm just going to go ahead and continue rolling. You'll see how easy that is. Whoa, what do you know, guys? So we have our little guy rolled up, and let me go ahead and get the pan that we're gonna cook them in, as well as something to cut or chop. So we have a 6-inch cast iron skillet. I have my little, I forgot what this is called, but this thing. And we're going to spray our cast iron with some avocado oil, just so that things don't stick, you know? Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this, and we are going to get it right into the oven. Had to kind of switch it around. Okay, now we're gonna cut through, and looks like a little flower. They look tiny, but. Okay guys, so my little cinnamon rolls don't look very beautiful, but they're gonna taste delicious, and that's what really matters, right? So I'm gonna put these in the oven. It's been preheating at 350 degrees, so of course make sure that your oven's already preheated, or else you're gonna get there and have to wait. So it's, yeah, so that's already preheated. We're gonna get these in there, and I will show you what they look like when they come out. Okay, while our cinnamon rolls are baking, we're gonna get started on our glaze. So we're gonna add the melted butter, and now our softened cream cheese. The softened cream cheese is so important. And now our sweetener. So we're going to measure out about 3 tablespoons, because I have a sweet tooth. Let's just add all of it. And a pinch of salt to bring out the flavor. Now we just add a little vanilla extract or vanilla flavor. Mix everything together. You want to make sure that your cream cheese is melted, or softened, because you don't want a chunky glaze. Trust me. If you can see, mine is has little parts of cream cheese. Okay, and now you can add a tablespoon of almond milk just to thin it out a little. But if you want it nice and thick, you can leave it just as is. Now mix it in. Make sure it's all well incorporated. Looks perfect. Okay, and now let's get our cinnamon rolls out of the oven. Make sure you have your mitt so that you don't burn your hand. And look at these little beauties. Now, if you're not going to eat them right away, as in immediately, then you might not want to pour all the glaze over them. You can store them in separate containers. But if you are, then of course you can do it just like I did, and they're delicious. They're so amazing. I cannot wait for you guys to try them. We add a little bit of glaze. Now let's go ahead and cut into it and take a look at the texture. Look at that. Oh my gosh, you guys. You are going to be in love. Get ready. Wow. Delicious. Hey guys, I just wanted to hop in here and show you how I store my cinnamon rolls. So I keep them in a glass airtight container just like this. And these are delicious the next day and even up to a week later. You can store these in the fridge and they're gonna be delicious. Just warm them up and enjoy. Of course, I can't wait to see your recreations. Make sure that you tag me on Instagram so that I can share them with everyone else. And guys, I just really hope you love this recipe as much as I do. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Share my channel with everyone that you know because it's the only way that the channel keeps growing. And of course, leave me a little comment down below and show me some love. Guys, I love you so much and I will see you on my next video.